Chag Sameach. We invite everybody to take a Siddur. You have a Siddur on your chair. What page? Yeah.
כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים 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 כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים.
Baruch Hu is on page 39a.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו רבותיה אשר מתמומן ושנים. ומעביר יום מביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו
המעריב על אביב.
Page 40 אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך
ונשמח בדברי תורתך.
הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם בלילה ועבדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו
עולמו
תתים את ארצכם ביתו מלכות וספת עלינו תרשכו לצלם תתעשב בצדכם תחברת וסברת אישם שמתם את דברי על לברכם להמשיכם ושרתם אותם להיות על ידכם תבואו אליכם וגבלתם אותם תפתן על נושאת ביתך ושער למען יגוד לכם על האדמה אשר נשמע ותרס כמה שם דבר אתה שולם ציסי תתנות אותם ונתנו ציצרנו תתחל וציצית ותוסחתם תתו אחרי לברכם חלק מג'ת ורשולם למען תסגר וסמות שותי ביתם ירשים דרכם אני אנו אלוהיכם שרוצאתי אתכם וצמצרים מותחים אלוהים אני
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו כי הוא אדוני זולתנו.
Page 43A.
המשלם גמולו כל נפשנו עשה מנפשנו החיים ונתן למות רגלינו ונכנענו את אויבינו אותות ומופתים באדמת בניך מלכותו ורצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם ניני נני 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 נני
את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל
45 צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם פרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני
ברוך שמו
הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים.
Page 46, please rise.
וידבר משה את מועדי אדוני אל bnei Israel. Yidalai, lalai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, ai, 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 lalai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, lai, ai, lalai, lai, ai,
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, יעמד יברח יבוצע וימליך מלכותי.
לך יכול יום יכול ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קרים אמרו אמן יש מרבה מברך לעם רמיה יתברך
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירה לעלמה
אמרו אמן. Facing Yerushalayim, spend a few moments of quiet prayer. The Amidah begins on page 306, adding the section for the end of Shabbat, Motzai Shabbat, and of course for Chag HaShavuot, Zman Matan Toratenu. Please remain standing. Kaddish Shalem, page 321.
אמן. יהי שמרה מברך לעולם ולעולם יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה וימרו.
אמן. תתקבל צלותינו ובאותינו לכל ישראל קודם אבון וישמע ויאמרו אמן.
אמן. יהי שלום הרב אמין שמיה וחיים עלינו על כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום
במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Kiddush is on page 79.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העם ורוממנו מכל לשון וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה מועדים לשמחה חגים וזמנים לששון. את יום חג השבועות הזה זמן מתן תורתנו מקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים. בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ומועדי קודשך בשמחה ובששון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש ישראל והזמנים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מאורי האש. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המבדיל בין קודש לחול בין אור לחושך בין ישראל לעמים. בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה בין קדושת שבת לקדושת יום טוב הבדלת. ואת יום השביעי מששת ימי המעשה קידשת הבדלת וקידשת את עמך ישראל בקדושתך. ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לקודש. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Page 56. עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא
בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שמות השמיים ויוסף עליהם.
שורת אלוהיך כי אדוני ושמעת תחתנו עוד. להבי גידו לי מן הזלם תתקנת כאילו בידו כל שביל תבל כי לכתך שורה קשה. שמחה יקר איתו מאוד.
כתוב בתורתך אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד נאמר היה אדוני
Bonus Kaddish, those in mourning, those who have a yortzeit, page 58. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה כראותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Shavua Tov, Chag Sameach. We invite everyone to have a little bit of food, and then we'll start in about 10 minutes with the evening of song and Torah. B'dei Alon.
חג שמח.
No, no. Yeah. People don't need their sederim for the evening, so you can return them to the back if you'd like. You don't need, hello, hi. Hello. You don't need sederim. How are you, Shelley? Yes. Is she? I haven't. She left me a message and I haven't called her back. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad. Oh, okay, I'm so bad. She called up like a week and a half ago. Okay, I have to call her back.
Online to get a food.
So is anyone speaking in sanctuary song?
I have.
Oh, great.
I have one that I think we said we would sing it a little bit, and then I have.
Talk and then we'll go back.
I just want to make sure that
Yeah, I have
if
something.
there's something great.
So the opening one is, I would say, the longest I have. The opening piece, and then that one is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But the opening one, you're breaking in two, right?
not the opening one. I don't think so. You're gonna play music near D, then I was gonna go, and then we're singing. No? Yeah. We said we were gonna do a musical introduction. And I was gonna kind of talk about. Yeah, that's what we had said. We open musical, and then that's what I had, the instrumental. Then I'll do the midrash, and then we go into the song. And then this one, it's just a little bit. I just do something about Ozi, what Ozi means, and then what about Zimra, and then we'll sing this. Then I forget where Roli is. He's doing before Shir Chadash Shir. I think that's what I had. And then Dave is doing. I have a little for your Kohanim, if necessary, we'll see. And it's not that great, but. And then Dave has something for Matofu.
So you know what? If you have something to say,
Okay. Bring us down. Okay. So I think if that one, if I end up doing it, we'll see how it feels. We said we would play a little, then speak, and then go into the melody, kind of like we did for Near D. Okay. Excellent.
jump in and you'll talk over that, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll come in, we'll bring in the melody, and then we'll sing the refrain, and then we'll go into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, it's decent. Like
I mean, these things, Lori told me the other day, he's like, I hope people can do this. You do this, and then the people will talk about it, and
Right.
then next year they'll come.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because of the JCC.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. But it feels full enough. And there are people who I wouldn't, like people who I don't know more. So that's
Great.
good.
Yeah, I sent out to my own mailing list, Jewish spiritually mailing list, put it on Facebook. All right.
How's Catherine? Is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. She had a few rough days last week.
Yeah, that's right.
But she's doing well now. Thank you. It will be. We get there at 2 in July.
Getting there.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know where Rolly is.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. We are going to begin, all of us together, because everything that's going to happen here tonight is shared by everybody who's in this space. You all have a booklet, and the booklet has liturgical poetry in it. And what we're going to do tonight is proceed from one song to the next. They are in a chronological order of the Torah, some of the quotes there, and some of the songs are just songs for Shavuot, beautiful poetry from Jewish history. The music is from across the Jewish diaspora, east, west, and what we would like to do is there are going to be, in each song, there's going to be moments for communal singing. Each song has these, and those moments are going to be modeled by us sitting here. Some songs will have a leader moment, and then moments of audience, community participation, which is all of us. So, and all the songs repeat a few times, so even if you haven't heard the melody, you're going to know it by the second time around, but I think you'll be familiar with most of them. Okay.
Just one request to keep the spirit of the Chag. We ask that people keep phones and any electronic devices away so that we can keep the energy focused on the Chag and the receiving of Torah and song and each other. Thank you. 10 descents upon the earth were made by the Holy One. The first descent was when the Holy One was walking in the Garden of Eden and asked Adam and Chava, Ayeka, where are you? The second descent was when the Holy One descended with the 70 angels who surrounded God's throne of glory, and they confused their speech into 70 nations as 70 languages. Whence do we know that the Holy One, blessed be, descended? Because it is said, and God came down to the city and the tower. That was the second descent. The third descent was when God descended at Sodom. As it is said, I will go down and see. The Holy One said, shall I not tell my friend Avraham an important matter which I will do in my world in the future? And God said, shall I hide from Avraham that which I do? That was the third descent. The fourth descent was when God descended into Egypt, into Mitzrayim, as it says, I will go down with thee into Mitzrayim. Jacob heard concerning Yosef that he was living, and he was thinking in his heart, saying, can I forsake the land of my fathers, the land of my birth, the land of the sojournings of my fathers, the land where the Shekhinah, the Holy One, is in its midst, and shall I go to an unclean land in the midst, for there is no fear of heaven therein? The blessed Holy One said to him, Yaakov, do not fear. I will go down with you into Mitzrayim, and I will also surely bring you up again. The fifth descent was when the Holy One came down to the burning bush. As it is said, and I came down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians. And the sixth descent was when the Holy One came down on Sinai. As it is said, and God came down on Mount Sinai. On the 6th of Sivan, the Holy Blessed One was revealed unto Israel on Sinai. And from God's place, God was revealed on Mount Sinai, and the heavens were opened. And the summit of the mountain entered into the heavens. Thick darkness covered the mountain, and the Holy Blessed One sat upon God's throne, and God's feet stood on the thick darkness. As it is said, God bowed the heavens also, and came down, and thick darkness was under God's feet. Rabbi Tarfon said, the Holy Blessed One came to the people of the sons of Esav and said, will you accept the Torah for yourself? And they said no. And then the Holy Blessed One turned to the Ishmaelites and said, will you accept the Holy Torah? And they said to him, no. And the Holy One then said to the messengers to all the nations of the world, will you receive the Torah for yourselves? And what did they say? No. Rabbi Eliezer says, from the day when the Israelites went forth from Mitzrayim, they were journeying and encamping in smoothness. They were journeying in smoothness, and they were encamping in smoothness until they all came to Mount Sinai. And they all encamped opposite the mountain, Ke'ish echad b'lev echad, like one person with one heart. The Holy Blessed One spoke to them, said, will you receive yourselves the Torah? And while the Torah had not yet been heard, they said to God, we will keep and observe all the precepts which are in the Torah. And they said, all that God has said, na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will hear. Rabbi Chanina said, in the 3rd month, the day is double. It's a long day, and the Israelites slept until 2 hours of the day. For sleeping in the day of Atzeret on this holiday is pleasant. And Moshe went forth and came to the camp of the Israelites, and he aroused the Israelites from their sleep, saying to them, Arise ye from your sleep, for behold, your God desires to give you the Torah. Already the bridegroom wishes to lead the bride and to enter the bridal chamber. The hour has come for giving you the Torah. As it is said, and Moshe brought forth the people out of the camp to meet God, and the Holy Blessed One went forth to meet them, like a bridegroom who goes forth to meet the bride. So the Holy Blessed One went forth to meet them to give them the Torah, as it is said, O God, when you went forth before thy people. And that is why we have the tradition to stay up all night, lest we become sleepy, and someone would have to say, arise, the people of Israel, arise. And so we come tonight, awaiting the giving of the Torah and awaiting the wedding.
Page 5.
Israel is gonna do
בתוך טור אבן הראשה סמוך הנופלה עדה קדושה נשמת חי תברך נרץ בקדושה ורוח כל בשר נשמע חיים בו נרדי נתן לכל מלך בנסיבו יום עשה אדוני נרדי נשמח בו נרדי נתן לכל מלך בנסיבו יום עשה אדוני נרדי נשמח בו.
Going to take now some piyutim or songs or psukim that refer to the different sections of different books of the Torah. The one that follows on page 6, Amar Adonai leYaakov, Al tira avdi Yaakov, is a poem that is sung usually on Motzei Shabbat. As we face a new week, we, with all the anxieties and the challenges before us, we recall the words to Yaakov, Al tira avdi Yaakov, don't fear, go forth. We sing together, page 6.
My God is a queer God, is a queer space, is a safer space, is in allyship with the universe because my God is self-reflexive and knows that it is not always a safe space for everyone at every moment. And it may be an ally to one entity and a trigger to another, so my God is working in solidarity with everything all at once. And that capacity doesn't fit inside a bodied box. My God is outside the outside of a timeless clock. My God is indefatigable. My God is intersectional. My God is awake and alert and stays woke because it once created the universe and it still encompasses the earth. My God knows that it is not always seen as a God, that not everyone blesses how it transforms day in and night and back and sometimes forward. And my God knows that it is questioned and doubted and questioned and shamed and pushed back and called out and called in again. My God rocks transformative justice. My God knows that restoration doesn't do enough in dismantling injustice still. My God knows the difference between prefix and suffix because my God invented Latin and language and knows that even language has repercussions. And even language is transgressive. And even language doesn't properly contain substances. There is no way to concretize linguistic labeling with justice. So my God is transcending and transubstantiating justice. My God is nameless. Thou shalt not speak my God's name and speak my God's name in vain to be anything other than other without any name, because my God is a holy, 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 intangible, amorphous entity of infinity, of limitless whole and unidentified, expansive tranquility. My God is a queer God, and my God is eternity.
Continue on page 8. קודשו השמיענו יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו
צבא מרום ריבותיים ירדו עמו בעת אשר נגלה לישראל עמו
יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו
מסיני בא וזרח משעיר לעמו בקול שופר חזק מאוד יעננו
יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו ורגז הר סיני את ביאתו להנחיל דעת לישראל סגולתו יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו על יד משה עבד נאמן ביתו ושם עין בעין ראתה עינינו יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו
קדוש כעז תגלה מלכותך עלי למקדשי שובה ושכון תוך עולי
יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו
וליהתה שלום כמי נהר אולי ועינינו יראו וישמח ליבנו
יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו לזכות לעבור לתחת יום יום מודה לאל אשר בחר בנו We reference now the experience of Yaakov in the book of Bereshit. We move now to the book of Shmot, to the book of Exodus. We're about to sing a piyut that refers to the song at the sea. Shirat Hazyam Haz Yashir Moshe. According to the Midrash, when Moshe and Miriam and the people of Israel came at the sea, and they crossed the sea and they sang this incredible, beautiful song, God said, this was the moment I was waiting for. Since I created the universe and I brought people on the earth, nobody ever sang a song for me. This is the first time that somebody sings a song for me. The entire people sang this song. And yet we know from the tradition that that's not true. The tradition says that Adam, the first man, sang Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. That Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat is a composition of Adam. We sing it every week. And then we know that when Avraham was saved from the furnace, the Midrash says that Avraham sang. When Yitzhak was saved in Mount Moriah from being brought as a sacrifice by his father, the tradition says Yitzhak sang. When Yaakov was saved from the fight with the angel, Yaakov sang. So how come God said, this is the first time that anyone ever sang a song for me? And so the rabbis explained this song was different. This song was a completely different song. This song was so different that everybody sang. Every single person who was there sang, including the unborn children in the womb of their mothers, sang at the sea. That's what the Midrash says. And why was it such a different song? It was a different song because it was the only time, or the first time, up to then, that God had revealed God's self to the people, and God was seen by the people. The Midrash says that a simple woman at the sea saw more of God than all the prophets put together. So there was an experience of God that was direct, that was visible, that penetrated into people's bones, and that was transformative. That's why we say, Shira Chadasha Shibchu Geulim Leshimcha Al Sfat Hayam. A new song. What do you mean a new song? We refer to Shirat Hayam, to the song at the sea, as a new song. Why was it a new song? Because it was a transformative song. It was a song that made people new. The tradition says that if a person can sing Shirat Hayam in the present with the same spirit, with the same intention, with the same rapture as it was sung originally, all of that person's sins are forgiven forever. So that a person becomes transformed and becomes a new person. Therefore, it's called Shira Chadasha, not because the song is a new song. It's the same words. But it makes the person new. It transforms time, it transforms space, and it transforms the heart so powerfully that it's as if it's a new moment, a new space, and a new person. We're going to now sing Az Yashir Moshe Israel, Shir Chadash Ashir. I'm very happy that we have musicians who are all of Indian descent and that play beautiful Indian music, because this melody that we're going to sing in this piyut is a favorite piyut of the Jews of India. They kept it, they sang it, they embraced it, they kept it alive. And when the community of the Jews of India made it to Israel, they sang it and they spread it. And now it's reached even the shores of New York City, of the United States in New York City. And from here may go many other places. On page 10 and page 11, Shir Chadash Ashir, a new song I will sing.
Ashira Adonai
ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני.
שיר חדש, השיר בשמך, הנשבעת אריאל.
השיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. מצפה קלטה נפשי, לשכון באחות בבית קודשי.
והמצפה
קלטה נפשי, לשכון באחות בית קודשי. להקריב לו לחם אישי, ויחליפו עליו. אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני.
לנו ישלח משיחנו, במהרה יבוא אלינו.
לנו ישלח משיחנו, במהרה יבוא אלינו.
ליערנו לארצנו, נחזות בנועם אדוני.
אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת לאדוני. 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 אז ישיר משה ישראל, השירה הזאת I'll just introduce the musicians here. On the tabla, this is Roshni Samlal. Yeah. On harmonium, Rohan Prabhudesai. And Bansuri flutes, this is Jay Gandhi. And violin, Arun Ramamurthy. My voice never sounded this good. Thank you, Dimitrios, also for doing the sound here tonight.
Tonight and every Shabbat and every holiday.
I think you know these people, but just in case, I know there's a few guests here who might not be BJ regulars. This is Cantor of BJ, Ari Priven. Cantor Dave Mintz. This is Rabbi Felicia Sol. Rabbi Roli Matarot.
Yah. God is my strength and my song. And the Mechilta Midrash asks, well, what does it mean that God is my strength? And we know as we recite in Kabbalat Shabbat and in many other services, Adonai, that God gives us the Torah as Oz. The rabbis understand the strength as one version is that its strength is Torah, which is what we're celebrating here tonight. Another version, because there's never just one, they think that O's strength is justice. That the king rejoices, meaning God, in justice, and that is God's strength, and that is lived out on the world. And another version of O's strength is that is God's stronghold, meaning our faith in God. That what makes God strong is our faith in God, which strengthens God to be strong and strengthens us to be strong. To be said about the meaning of song. Heschel says about song, in no other act does a person experience so often this disparity between the desire for expression and the means of expression as in prayer. The inadequacy of the means at our disposal appears so tangible, so tragic, that one feels that it is a grace to be able to give oneself up to music, to a tone, to a song, to a chant. The wave of a song carries the soul to heights which utterable meanings can never reach. Such abandonment is no escape. For the world of unutterable meanings is the nursery of the soul, the cradle of all our ideas. It is not an escape, but a return to one's origins. Zimrat Yah, the Song of God.
Oh
I want to melt purple violets and yellow roses into the arch of your back and run daisies over the course of your childhood. Rest my hand limp on the porcelain of your cheek and mouth Sanskrit words into the apex of your breath so that our souls can remember the first lifetime that they met. Plant acorns into the skin of your upper lip to catch autumn every time I look into your eyes and see summer caving in. Brush oxygen onto the concave of your collarbone so that the next time I kiss you there, I can still breathe. Sketch waterfalls with blue and gold-colored pencils into the side of your stomach to remember the source of the ocean I tread water in every time you're near. Drip raindrops from your eyelids into the sand dunes of my deserted heart that haven't felt this pure since birth. Drench star constellations into the vortex of your tongue to see infinity every time we lock lips. Dance on the thresholds of your earlobes. Sing to the rhythm of your heartbeat's melody. Compose symphonies of our laughs. Fly to the inner walls of your thoughts and attach to my thoughts with a bungee cord so that the elasticity of eternity doesn't shatter the moments we spend together in this lifetime with these bodies. And all I ask in return is that you hold me like the miracle of divinely heard redemption songs on the crux of the morning sunrise. I wish on every star that you'll come throw rocks at my window. Every picturesque daydream, every self-fulfilling prophecy from a bystander that morphs into a lifetime epiphany, every lush mountain range, every poem I want to share with you eternally, but sometimes fate chuckles in my eyelids and washes fear away so love can linger on the dashboard of my daydreams as reality gives birth to infinity, reminding me that you are my soulmate. And the feeling in my gut like a dirty dish towel wringing out restless doubt was but an uttering of the inner workings of destiny. I fell in love with you when we met. I want to wrap enlightenment into a box of gold and place it in the palm of your hand so that the rest of my life can start tomorrow with you.
ושכנתי בתוכה ועל
children of Israel left Mitzrayim, on the third month after the children of Israel left Mitzrayim, on the 6th day of that month, today, God gave us the 10 Commandments. As it had said, Moshe went up into the mountain of God, and he remained there for how many days? 40 days. Moshe went up to the top of the mountain and stayed there for 40 days. The 24 days of the month of Sivan and the 16 days of the month of Tammuz, totally 40 days in all. He descended from the mountain on the, what day of Tammuz? The 17th day of Tammuz. And what did he find? And on the 18th and the 19th day of Tammuz, he saw the golden calf. And he broke those tablets and halted their revelry. And on the 20th day, he returned and ascended once again. As it says, and it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe said unto the people, you have sinned a great sin, and now I will go up into God. Moshe remained there the 10 days of the month of Tammuz and the entire month of Av, totaling another 40 days. He went up on the first day of the month of Elul, when God told him, hew these 2 tablets and be ready for the morning. And he hewed, and Moshe rose up early in the morning and went up unto Mount Sinai. He stayed there throughout the month of Elul and until the 10th of Tishrei, another 10 days. On the 10th of Tishrei, he descended while the Israelites were praying and fasting. And on that day, God said to him, I have pardoned according to thy word. Then the Holy One established that day as the day of forgiveness and pardon for the future generations, as we know it to be Yom Kippur. For on this day atonement shall be made for you to cleanse you. And thereupon God commanded Moshe, Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham, and make for me a sanctuary, so I may dwell amongst you.
O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. And with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Oh, ve'asu li
about to sing a piyut, Adonai Eloheinu, composed in the 20th century by Rabbi David Abu Chatzira from Morocco, from the son of the Atlas, from Tafilalt. The second verse in this piyut that takes us through all the 10 commandments and the moment of the giving the Torah in Har Sinai. If you look on page 12 at the bottom of the page, the second verse says, Dodi yarad legano, my beloved descended into his garden, uchekala kideshanu, and took us as a bride in marriage. B'mitzvotav etzivanu, commanded us his commandments. Sur mera v'asetov, so that we may keep away from evil and do good. The imagery of the wedding on Mount Sinai is prevalent in the Midrash. Shir HaShirim says, Tzena u're'ena benot Zion b'melech Shelomo ba'atara she'itra lo imo b'yom chatunato u'b'yom simchat libo. Go out, daughters of Zion, and look at King Solomon in the crown which his mother crowned him with. Beyom chatunato, on the day of his wedding, ubeyom simchat libo, on the day of the joy of his heart. The tradition says, Hamelech Shlomo, that King Solomon is Hamelech she'ashalom shelo, the king, the sovereign, whose peace it is. Peace is his. In other words, it's God. Hamelech Shlomo, every time it says Hamelech Shlomo in the Midrash, it means God. So Tzena u're'ena benot Zion, go out, daughters of Zion, and look at King Solomon. In other words, look at God on the day of God's wedding. When was God's wedding? Today. Shir HaShirim asher lishlomo, Ishakeni menishikot piu. Song of Songs of Solomon. Ishakeni menishikot piu. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. Hear what Rashi says. She recites this song with her mouth in their exile and in her widowhood. That's the people of Israel. If only King Solomon would kiss me with the kisses of his mouth as of old. Who is King Solomon? According to the Midrash, if only God would kiss me with the kisses of his mouth as of old. Because in some places they kiss on the back of the hand or on the shoulder, but I desire and wish that he behaved toward me as he behaved toward me originally, like a bridegroom with a bride, mouth to mouth. That's Rashi. Rabbi Yossi, on the verse, the Lord came from Sinai, Adonai misinai ba, says, I used to read this verse differently. I used to read this verse, the Lord came to Sinai. But then I realized I was mistaken. The true meaning is, the Lord came from Sinai to receive Israel as a bride comes forth to meet the bride, as a groom comes forth to meet the bride. And then when they came to Sinai, at the bottom of the mountain, the Midrash says that the mountain was uprooted and held above their heads. And you came near and stood under the mountain. O my dove in the clefts of the rock, let me see your face, let me hear your voice. For sweet is your voice, and your countenance is comely, said God to the people Israel, and to the mountain that stood as a chuppah. Adonai Eloheinu, the bottom of page 12. אלוהינו לקח טוב נתן לנו על יד משה רבנו הודו לאדוני כי טוב. דודי ירד לגנו וחכה קידשנו במצוות ציוונו סור מרע ועשה טוב.
וביום השבת קודש
וביום השבת קודש ויום שישה לחודש חתן כלתו קידש כשבט אחים הטוב.
דגלו עליה אהבה
דגלו עליה אהבה דודי דנו לרבה אדוני מסיני בא ותראות לו כי טוב.
אנוכי ולא יהיה
אנוכי ולא יהיה דבר במיתו מחיה היה עורר ויהיה וישר והטוב.
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו אשר ציווה לעמו לא תישא לשם שמו אמר אלוהים לא טוב. יום השבת מנוחה יום השבת מנוחה לא יגור האחה כל ששון וכל שמחה והנה האור כי טוב. חיים וחסד לך חיים וחסד לך תכבד כל ימיך אביך ואימך אורך ימין וגם טוב. צלם אלוהים מול מול צלם אלוהים מול לא תרצח תמות תמות גם חיות גם בהמות כי אדוני לכל טוב. ישר חיל לא תנאף ישר חיל לא תנאף אזי לא יחרח לא מלך ולא שרף אוהב ימין לראותו.
רחוק תרחק ולא תעשה
רחוק תרחק לא תעשה לא תגנוב לא תעשה כי בתורת משה תאמרו טוב.
אמת פני עתיד
עליית משה רבנו, הודו לאדוני כי טוב.
In November 1990, I was 7 years old, and the week my youngest sibling was born, my father took me to see a then fresh documentary screening in downtown Chicago of a documentary called Berkeley in the 60s. And I was an impressionable young child. And so for those of you that don't know about this documentary, Berkeley in the 60s, it's about the history of the free speech movement and the Black Panther Party and the civil rights movement at UC Berkeley in California, and then the way that the students at Berkeley began to engage with the surrounding communities in Oakland around social justice. So here I am at 7 years old, it's 1990, and I've just come to assume that social justice is inherently part of being an American. So that's like becomes my framework. Simultaneously, in Hebrew school and Sunday school, I'm learning about tzedakah and this holiday called Pesach, which is like social justice 101. And so I just like think this is how the world works, right? That to have a social justice lens on the earth. I remember at Jewish day camp as a child, we were all asked to write like a note for the Western Wall on a piece of construction paper. And on a piece of purple construction paper, I asked God for world peace. And so to foreshadow the song that is going to come after this next poem I'm going to share, it says, Rabbi Akiva said, love thy neighbor love your neighbor as yourself. This is a principle of Torah. And I'm pretty sure we've got some rabbis here to my left, but I'm pretty sure it's like 3 dozen times the Torah says that? Love your neighbor as yourself? No? Too many?
One.
One?
But it says,
What's the 3 dozen thing?
But it says, love the stranger.
Love the stranger.
Love the
That's what
stranger.
you're thinking.
Thank you. That's the 3 dozen thing.
But this other one's good.
36
This one was good.
times.
Okay. Great. See, this is why it's like really good to always have a rabbi nearby. Thank you. It all works to preface for this piece. I wrote this poem 12 years ago. I was sitting in the Atlanta airport to fly home to Chicago to be with my family for Thanksgiving. And an incident occurred in Minnesota. It was broadcast on CNN, and I wrote this poem. In November 2006, 6 Muslim imam men were shuffled off an airplane when an ignorant passenger expressed concern. If she knew they were praying towards Mecca, would she still have remembered the terrorism of September 11th that plastered negative images of brown-skinned citizens in her head? And how come no one ever calls the county sheriff when the president says, God bless, or an Oscar winner thanks Jesus? Yes, due to the shift in hate of the American psyche, Arabs and Muslims have had their hijab morphed to look like gun racks, the same way that Black Panther defense was systematically media purchased and transgressed to look like black men on the offensive to kill, instead of a people hoping to end the dismantling of their humanity. And I want to say I understand the Muslim men, not because of my own experienced anti-Semitism, which has been vast and painful, but because despite my optimism, I've watched my people slaughtered for millennia. So my passport is always ready for any white supremacist plan for any minority extermination, and the new folks of color better get in line, because the old ones still haven't been paid reparations. And while black Americans are still lynched, fruitless, ghettoed by gentrification, Arabs and Muslims suffer Hollywood manipulation. Every big budget action flick's got a turban speaking Arabic, hijacking anything with wheels, striking bomb threat deals. But did you know the government escorted the Bin Ladens back to Saudi Arabia on 9/11 because they're good buddies with George Bush? And did you ever ask your Serbian roommate at boarding school how many friends she watched die at the hands of American bombs that were supposed to save white Muslims in Bosnia? And did you ever envision school without racism? Because there are movements to reinstate prayer in school. I was made to worship someone else's God as we looked our my hand on my heart during our nation's pledge, yet she reports their prayers to the nearest airport security as suspicious activity. White men murder Emmett Till because he whistles at a white woman. When there are white men that whistle at black and Latino women every street corner in Manhattan, stars plastered on my ancestors' shoulders, numbered, tattooed on their arms, yet there are scholars who say the Holocaust genocide never happened. PhDs who claim slavery ended in 1863, ignorant America KKKans who think it'll never happen again, but we're escorting Muslims off the airplane, making the airport the new plantation where Massa is any white or assimilated racist that doesn't know that Arab is not synonymous with Muslim. Probably thinks that anti-Semitism is an old world thing of the past, like a friend recently told me to my Jewish face. Probably thinks that Brown v. Board and civil rights cleared up any American issues with race. Yes, we're always on someone's case. And we'll post their skin tone on wanted ads for extermination. We'll make them metaphorically pick cotton off some realistic plantation, and no one will have been paid reparations. So maybe you could be the new minority without the racism-proof vest. Maybe you could be this year's Muslim escorted off an airplane for giving praise to the Almighty. Maybe you could be the new victim to the colorless whitey. So if it's never been you, guess what? You could be next.
ואהבת לרעך, לרעך כמוך. זה כלל גדול, גדול בתורה. זה כלל גדול בתורה. אמר רבי עקיבא, ואהבת לרעך, לרעך כמוך. ואהבת לרעך, לרעך כמוך. זה כלל גדול, גדול בתורה. כמוך. לרעך כמוך, זה כלל גדול, גדול בתורה, זה כלל גדול בתורה.
כבן עמלה, אין גדולה כתורה, ואין דורשה כישראל, מפיהם יבורך כל ישראל.
לך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום וישם לך שלום
שלום
us of Balak, the king of Moab, who was fearful of the size and power of Bnei Israel and sent messengers to the prophet Balaam, asking him to curse the Israelites. Balaam asked the messengers to stay the night and to wait and see what God has in store. And God appears before Balaam, forbidding him from fulfilling their request. So Balaam sends the messengers home empty-handed, prompting Balak to send yet even more messengers, more important and more impressive messengers. Balaam explains that he can't go with them if God forbids it, no matter what they offer, but that they too should stay the night and see what God says. Again, God appears to Balaam and agrees to let him go, with the caveat that Balaam can only do according to God's will. Balak greets Balaam on his arrival, and the two travel to Mount Bamot Baal, where God appears and gives Balaam his first prophecy, a prophecy which confuses and angers Balak because it is a blessing of the Israelites and not a curse. But Balak says, fine, let's try again. Let's find a new place so you can have a new view of the camp. And once more, Balaam delivers a blessing instead of a curse. A third time, Balak brings Balaam to another spot, another place to view the camp, hoping for a curse. And Balaam looks off into the wilderness at the camp of Bnei Israel and again gives a blessing. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. How good are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. Came off of the scroll of our Torah into our Sidurim, into our prayer books, and are among the first prayers we recite every morning. Traditionally, you would even say these words upon entering any house of prayer. How good, how beautiful are your tents, we should declare. A beautiful pasuk with beautiful poetry, but it feels a little strange for us to say it for ourselves. Certain times and certain moods, it might feel self-congratulatory. It might not feel right. But there's a teaching of Rabbi Rami Shapiro which says that actually to say it this way is to say it all wrong. That in the context of our tefillah, this verse isn't meant as declaration. It's meant as introspection. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. This line shouldn't end with a period. It should end with a question mark. How good are our dwelling places? How truly good are our homes, our communities, our entire world? What are we doing to keep those dwelling places good and lovely and beautiful? How are we making these communities places where our values become manifest in the world? And when we recite these words through tefillah or a devotional song, let us engage in the spiritual work of deep introspection and work towards committing ourselves to continue building homes and communities where the values that we profess become real.
השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה. נקרא בכבודו על סיני הודו, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה. ניתנה לנו היה רואינו, משה רבינו, משה רבינו, בפיר האומה. השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה. זכה וברה, זכה וברה.
נאמן ביתו הביט בדמותו,
נאמן ביתו הביט בדמותו,
גם נבואתו, גם נבואתו מרביעה.
השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה, מתבזקה זכה וברה, זכה וברה.
באהבתך,
ישמח ישראל באהבתך,
כי הוא מנהיל, כי הוא מנהיל, לומדי תורה.
השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מפס יקרה זכה וברה, זכה וברה, מפס יקרה זכה וברה, זכה וברה. רבה נעימה תורה תבימה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מפס יקרה זכה וברה, זכה וברה, מפס יקרה זכה וברה, זכה וברה. השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, השורש שירה לכבוד התורה, מפס יקרה זכה וברה, זכה וברה.
Self-love is sobbing fetal position on the brown wooden panels of my bedroom in Bushwick the night before I move out. My torso prostrating back in on myself, my body, the only God in sight. Self-love is waking up at 5 a.m. at my mother's cousin's in New Jersey on the coldest day of winter and carrying 3 duffel bags, 10 boxes, half a dozen crates, my hula hoop, and 3 garment bags up 8 feet of stairs at Manhattan Mini Storage by myself on a weekday in leather boots. Self-love is the ocean, is folding my blue jeans on a rock, is placing my cell phone in a pocket, is soaking my bare soles into the sun-tucked sand and placing my right foot on the inner flesh of my left thigh and raising my arms to the sky in a tank top and underwear and saying, "Holy hallelujah, look at what I found." Self-love is moving to New Jersey and back to Manhattan and to Sarah's couch in Brooklyn after 3 landlords in Queens say no. Because I'm an artist, because I freelance, because I'm a single woman, because I am too sturdy to be knocked to the ground, self-love is moving everything out of storage in black platform wedges in a Forever 21 dress mere hours before the first night of Pesach, and here is me, my own Moses, parting the Red Sea. Self-love is 2 years later, is 2 more dances around the sun, is too many more months than anticipated, still in the desert wandering, still waiting for the tablets at Sinai, still waiting for the spies to tell me what I'm too afraid to find within myself. Self-love is being 32 and single, is being 32 and single, is being 32 and single and 4 weddings in a row and signing 5 ketubas and standing up and getting my period and getting my period and standing up and signing a ketubah and dancing the hora and signing a ketubah and dancing the hora and signing a ketubah and watching my newsfeed and watching my newsfeed and still waking up alone. Self-love is tucking myself to sleep in the middle of my queen-size bed and still knowing I am strong, is waking up in Harlem, is remembering Brooklyn, is prostrating to my torso, is prostrating to my womb, is knowing that possibility may in fact be one heck of a magnificent God, but oh, how that golden calf creates idols, how to that burning bush is but a metaphor, how the only way out of this Exodus desert dance is feeling whole, wholly on my own. I will be bigger than heartbreak. I will be stronger than the empty, choking, guzzling my chest. I have sat alone at the largest canyon edge in southeast Utah and felt infinite, so I will not be afraid. I will love this love's extinction into the outskirts of the universe. I will scout my own way. I will birth the gully in my throat into 1,000 redemption songs, and I will bleed light from the contours of my eyes. I will march, I will march, I will march. I will eulogize every now abandoned kiss with the sanctity of a marriage that will never be. I will sit this shiva, I will grieve this death. I will let my spirit stumble. I will rise again from breath. I will prevail. My heart will birth 1,000 doves into the outskirts of the universe, and I will call this freedom. I will call this love. I will hold myself through every shiver in the bathtub, in the shower, on my side of the bed, on the subway platform, on the phone with Chloe, in the car with my sister, on the curb of 14th Street and Avenue B. I will weep myself into tranquility. I will bless my goddess self and raise my soul above the ground. I will not walk across the desert. I will lift into the clouds. I will stretch the tongue that used to kiss him and thrust it with the fervor of 1,000 ancient echoes chanting to the full moon. I will be the full moon. I will light the sky. I will not hold back. I will not silence myself. I will not acquiesce. I will gift myself survival. I will look back one day and know I never even questioned if I would come out complete. I will plant this foundation. I will fierce this house. I will burst this roof. I am not afraid to crumble it. If I cannot keep my words sacred, I will forgive myself, for I am no saint, but I will be my own savior. I will carry my whole breath. I will rise into the sunset. I will resurrect.
Caroline Rothstein. And the tablas, Roshni Samlal. Rohan Prabhudesai on harmonium. And Bansuri J. Gandhi. And violin, Arun Ramamurthy. Okay. I want to thank also Dimitrios over there on the sound. We want to thank all of you for coming here tonight to make this what it is.
Yeah.
And we have one more.
Dan
Nadell, our
Dan
music
Nadell.
director. Page 15.
Tzadi
ואין תומך ישראל מפיהם, מפיהם יבורך כל ישראל, מפיהם, מפיהם יבורך כל ישראל, מפיהם, מפיהם יבורך כל ישראל, מפיהם
חג שמח.
חג שמח.
Chag Sameach, everyone. We want to thank Don really for putting it all together. And
Shkoch.
we hope this will be one of many, many more experiences, just like the devotional concert that already took place, and part of the Center for Prayer and Spirituality, really expanding the ways we express our prayer and spirituality and our joy on a Chag. We will continue our learning all night. Don't go. At about 12:30, we'll make our way into the chapel. So we have a little bit of a break, and we'll begin the learning with Tobias, and then Sarah, Rabbi Sarah, myself, and then Roli. And for all those who will stay for Rabbi Roli, sorry. Rabbi Roli, 32 years later, Rabbi Roli. And it's his lev, his heart year of the rabbinate. And then we will, for those who will stay for the early morning davening at 4:45, and the rest of us who will be back at 10 for regular davening. That's not regular. Chag Sameach.